That was kind of like the trip of a lifetime, even if we can't wait to be back on the road. But for now, it's like our best trip ever.
This is definitely not the van.
Yeah, definitely not the van. This is the apartment where we lived for 3 to 4 years before doing van life.
Yeah.
You might recognize it from our introducing video and the video we did when we left for the trip, which was
6 months ago now. Yeah, it feels like an eternity, but 6 months. Yeah,
because so many things happened. We didn't share anything yet, but like we did almost our original plan, but not completely, because all the US part was cut.
True.
And that's why we are here.
Yeah, we managed to cross mid-March the US border, but I think not even a week after that we had to head back up to Canada because the borders were closing because of, you know, the pandemic and stuff.
And we wanted to go back to the US right now for the winter to be FAS US and Mexico and Baja and all those wonderful places for van lifers. But this year it's not possible. So like any other Canadian van lifer, we had to find another plan.
A shelter sort of to spend the winter. Technically I think we should be in Florida right now.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Almost there, yeah.
And so that's not gonna happen.
And when we say that the van is not made for winter, it means that for full time, the fact that we have our water tank underneath the van is the issue. Otherwise, the insulation or all that is perfect.
Yeah.
But for full timing, the water will be a headache.
Yeah.
We experienced it in March, and we don't want to experience it for 6 months because the winter in Canada lasts 6 months.
Oh yeah.
So,
definitely.
Too long.
So the safest option for us this winter was to come back to, I'm not gonna say home, because the van was our home for 6 months, and it still is. Let's say our city shelter, we'll call it like that?
Yeah, traditional home base or...
Yeah, our home base, let's call it that way. So we're glad we're able to come back here. We had sublets in our apartment to take care of, well, the place and our cats. And I don't know if they're ever gonna see that video, but we just want to thank them because they were amazing all along. We're supposed to be gone until March 2021, but like us, with COVID, they had to adapt because they were okay with coming to our apartment because it was like 5 minutes walking distance from their work. But again, 10 days after moving in, they didn't have to go to the office anymore.
Yeah, so
it didn't really make sense for them to be here.
Yeah, paying like a Toronto rent, which is way higher than a lot of places around, was not the best option for them. And definitely, even if they could have been gone way earlier, they kept their word, they stayed here.
And they would have stayed until March if we didn't decide to come back early.
So they've been so good, like in communicating and just supporting us too, because at the end, it helped us to have people we trusted to be with our cats. The thing is, like when we had a choice to go in another part of Canada, like the west part is less snowy and less cold, we thought that it was just fair for them to come back. And also easier, like if we have to pay a rent, let's pay the rent where our cats are and we can be with them too. Yeah. So it was like kind of like a win-win decision to take, and also a way for us to thank them deeply for...
Yeah, shout out to them, because otherwise without them and without them being okay staying longer, I guess our trip would have ended in April, and that would have lasted 3 weeks, and then we wouldn't have experienced everything that we've seen. And we have seen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That was kind of like the trip of a lifetime, even if we can't wait to be back on the road. But for now, it's like our best trip ever. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
So basically, we aren't like sad, completely sad. I would say
it's sort of a mixed feelings. I'd say.
I would say like in every situation, of course, you've got some part that could be a bummer or it could be frustrating, but there is always like a bright side. Like for us, for example, yes, sadness or frustration have been the whole time of the trip because we had to change almost weekly our plans and where we were going. But also at the same time, we are safe, we are healthy, we had a home to welcome us. Some people will have family, we don't have family here, so having this apartment is like an amazing thing.
Also, the thing is, we had friends that spent their pandemic like stuck in the city or in their apartments.
Yeah.
We were in the van on the road across the entire country. So we're also, I guess, thankful that we were able to travel during those times. It was hard, don't get us wrong. It was challenging from, I think, week 2 of the travel. It was very challenging, but we were still able to visit and travel. That was amazing.
Yeah. So that's the downside to be back here, because now we are in a city, full-blown pandemic because it's the second wave. So we have to learn how to be in a city, like in a condo, because usually with the van we're just in our space and we had to wear a mask only when we were doing grocery, which was like about 10 days to 2 weeks, like every 10 days, every 2 weeks. So we were not so much used to it. We're like in nature and everything we're touching was inside our van. Now we have common areas, we need to be careful, we need to have our mask in all those common areas. It's like we're learning things that people have adjusted to for months now.
Yeah, if we're not comfortable where we are, we can just drive 10 minutes and go somewhere else. Like it's a fixed place. So, yeah, so it's the downside of being back in the city. But as you said, it's always 50-50. The upside is we can see our friends and
also
we're back to see them. So there's always that good side in a bad situation that you have to find.
Definitely. And the very good side to be back here is have the cats.
Yes.
It's a downside for Philly Bear because he's not the only child anymore.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That is not something he's happy about.
It was a rough couple of days when we came back.
Yeah.
Because he went from 6 months of non-stop attention from us to having to share the space with the cats.
Yeah.
And not being able to walk as much in the city than we did in the van. So
yeah, we're trying to find like a balance for us to go more outside with him and to walk more, and try to find like some nature places where we can go. But definitely he's like always close to us because I feel like it's very frightening for him to be so far away in another room.
Yeah, he still needs to see us all the time. So
so it's an adjustment for him, for the cats too, because they've been without the dog for 6 months and now we brought back the dogs and they were like, oh, we thought you're gonna leave that thing on the road.
Why did you bring it back? Like, why would you do that to us? Yeah.
So adjustment for the animals, but we're happy to have all our furry babies with us.
It's been almost a week now and like it's back to normal. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, they're finding the adjustment now.
Yeah.
And like we have unlimited access to internet. We have a shower.
Yeah, an easily accessible shower.
Yeah, even if for now we're trying to keep a rhythm of not everyday showering. Same for my hair. I'm still trying to do the 1 week. Like I'm gonna keep that rhythm.
I think that's gonna be part. We'll come to that later on, but I think that's gonna be part of what we'll share with you is what we learned from being on the road and how we can bring some of what we learned in the van inside our day-to-day apartment life.
Yeah, how to manage our resources and how much we are more conscious of what we use on a day-to-day basis and what we really need.
Good segue. That conversation might be part of a video that we're going to release at some point.
Because we have time and we have unlimited internet to release YouTube videos now.
part of what made our decision easy to come back here for the winter is that we would have internet and time. And this is something that we were lacking in the van, to be able to edit our videos, edit our photos, to share even with just friends and family and then you guys on Instagram and our social media. But since we were traveling sort of, as you said, week by week, we didn't want to miss out on the places we were in. And so we didn't want to take a full day to just stop, be in the van and edit a video, for example. We wanted to make the most of our trip since it was already sort of cut short. So we thought, we'll be back here this winter. and we'll edit all our videos
Yeah.
and share them with you guys.
And for those not experienced in van life, when we say we didn't have time, it's because we were traveling. And
Yes.
as we were traveling during a pandemic, we didn't know when we're gonna have to stop. So we were in a hurry, kind of. And like you said, stopping for a full day and being on our computer, just doing that, like work for you and videos and like just that. I have a huge FOMO, but you're gonna learn that about me. But the fact that that pandemic was making everything so uncertain was not helping at all on that
For sure.
aspect. So it was, we were not just living in the van, we were traveling with the van.
Yeah.
So this is something important to understand if you're considering van life.
True. Some of the videos we're going to release are actually build videos from over a year ago, I think, that we didn't have time to edit even during the build. So
Yeah.
be prepared to see some of our early steps and seeing the van empty again, because we're going to release that.
Yeah.
When you keep joking about that, but when we finished the van, I said, okay, I'm done with any type of woodworking or renovation for at least months or years, maybe. Now that I'm back, I miss it, and I want to.
He just wants to build things.
Yeah, I need to keep my hands active and build stuff. So we kept some of our furnitures inside the apartment while we were out for the sublets. But living in a tiny space, we learned how to make the most of our space. And we have a few ideas of how to rearrange our apartment. And so that's a good opportunity for me to do some woodworking. So I'm going to set up a shop and build stuff, buy some tools and do some woodworking. And I'm dying and I'm anxious to get started. I have the 3D plans already. I know what I want to do. You have decoration ideas that we're going to put all over. So
that might also be some YouTube videos that we're gonna do, because we're gonna share some smart, I think that those ideas are smart, but like some small ideas of things that you can do for your own home. Like it's not only for the van, but for your own home or for your friends. If you like to build stuff, it could be things that you do for your friends. If yourself you live in a van.
Yeah, van life taught us that it's always good to have multiple use for one thing. So we're gonna keep that mentality into what we're gonna do now in the apartment.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll share that with you at some point. But we'll try to keep it chronological and catch up on our late build videos, and we'll go from there. We don't have really a schedule yet on how we'll release our video.
Yeah, if it's gonna be weekly or bi-weekly, like let's say one build every week and like one traveling video every week. It's something we need to figure out because we need to readjust to this life.
Yeah.
But at some point we're gonna decide a rhythm and try to stick to it.
So that's part of what you'll be able to expect from us over the winter. It's the video content. We have tons of pictures. We not only have photos on our phone, which is what most of our Instagram posts are.
For now, yeah.
But we're also like very passionate about photography. So we have 2 actual cameras with like lenses, and we shot a lot of birds and animals with our pictures. We
love
animals.
We are picture hunters.
So those photos are mostly still either on the camera or in our computer. So we need to edit all of that. And so that's also some content that we'll be able to share.
Hopefully we can catch up everything before the roads are open again and we find new sublets for our place and our cat. So at some point we're gonna go back full time when it's COVID safe and when it's border open and free again to...
Back to some kind of normal, I guess. Yeah.
So definitely it's just a pause right now. And after we're gonna go back to this life because we just loved it and we're not done with it at all.
Until then, we are switching to Weekend Warriors. Yeah. We said we didn't want to travel in the van in the winter, but that's full time. But the van, I think you mentioned it, is built for winter. We have heat, we have insulation, we can spend a few days in the van without fearing, I don't know, a snowstorm or something
Yeah.
like this, or a big
We can plan
cold
it.
stretch. Yes, we can definitely plan it. We're gonna do trips that maybe take a couple of hours or up to 4 hours maybe to go to.
Yeah, we could go to Quebec too, depending on the road.
Yeah, I'm still working remotely, so even if we have to, we can spend more than we can, like go for 4 or 5 days away
Yeah.
and go back to enjoy the van life.
For now, I'm not working. I'm gonna work on some personal project that I think at some point I might tell you about. But for now, so I'm very flexible if we want to move. Like right now, this week is an amazing week with super good weather, but
It's actually hot.
it's super hot.
Yeah.
But we have so much to figure out before leaving again.
Yeah.
But as soon as we are stable, we're gonna hit the road for a few days.
Definitely. So I guess in conclusion, we're back in our apartment for the winter and until it's safe to travel again and do the rest of our trip. We've had an amazing experience in the past 6 months, being fortunate enough to travel in those difficult times. We're happy to be back, sad to have to leave the van, but we're gonna do weekends and still share a lot of amazing content with you guys. So if you want to keep up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and I guess we'll see you in the comments.
Yeah.
Bye guys.